What is up, people, and welcome back to my Rags to Riches F1 2010 to 2014 career mode. This is the career mode where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2010, work our way up through the ranks and through the teams, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2014. We are currently in the F1 2011 season, round 3, the Chinese Grand Prix. And if we have a look at the standings so far, we're in 6th place after a 5th in Australia and a 6th in Malaysia. What a start to this season we are having. 18 points on board at the moment, which is, if I take a look at my notes, and that is going to be a Williams seat for next season if we can hold on to this position. But we've got some races coming up that I'd like to win at and hopefully try and get further up the field and maybe even push for that Force India seat as well. If we can get Williams for next season, that'd be fantastic. But if we can get Force India for F1 2012, that'd be pretty great as well. Right. We've got an email to look out for today's race, just telling us about the Chinese Grand Prix. So they want us to get 12th in qualifying. We don't tend to do very well in the qualifying sessions, but they want me to get 9th in the race, which hopefully will be achievable. It's going to be nice and dry across the rest of the weekend, so that's good news. And for now, I think we're going to stick with the same helmet. I'm liking the sort of yellow and blue, so we're going to stick with that one for now. So without any further ado, let's head over to the Chinese Grand Prix. Okay then, here we go. Final 3 minutes of the qualifying session and down towards the line. What sort of time can we set in this session? Can we beat 18th, which we have got in the previous 2 races? Hopefully we can go on to beat that. That's sort of my goal at the moment. If I can go on to beat that, then that'll be a really, really good qualifying session indeed. Because we do well in the races. It's just the qualifying sessions that we need to sort out. But nice and tidy through turns 1 and turn 2. And hopefully that can set us up for the rest of the lap. 7 tenths slower than Sebastian Vettel. Still good. That could still be on for a really good time in this qualifying session. I think the pace usually to the leaders from like Barrichello and that is about a second and something. So that is what we're aiming for in this session. If we can maybe get that top 12 finish that the team want in this qualifying session, that would be a really, really great session for us. But here we go, down towards the final hairpin. I may have broke a little bit too late. Can we make it? Yes, we can. That's actually not too bad. Nice and tidy through the final hairpin, down towards the final corner now. Can we actually make this for the first time in this session? Yes, we can. Making that apex perfectly, down towards the line. What is the time going to be at the end of the day? It's P11 at the moment. 11th place in the one-shot qualifying. Wow. What a lap that is. That's incredible. That is an incredible first lap in this qualifying session. That's going to be the qualifying session over, but will we hold on to P11? Let's find out, as the rain is only just starting to come down. So we timed that lap perfectly. And yes, we do. We hold on to P11 here at the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying session. 1.6 seconds off the pace of Sebastian Vettel. That's not too bad, as Jenson Button was only 17 thousandths behind the Red Bull drivers. So very close between those 2 drivers. Lewis Hamilton not far off either in 3rd, with Felipe Massa qualifying 4th. Then it's Mark Webber 5th, Nico Rosberg 6th, Nick Heidfeld in 7th, Petrov in 8th, Alonso in 9th, and Michael Schumacher rounding out the top 10. There we are, just missing out on the top 10, but that does mean that we get a free choice of tyres in this Chinese Grand Prix, and we are up as high as we possibly could have been if we wanted a free set of tyres. That's good news for us at the end of the day. Really, really good news for us, and hopefully that can help us to get some good points here today. We're so much better in the races compared to qualifying, so the only way is up really from here. Unless we make any major mistakes, the only way is up. So Sergio Perez behind us in 12th, and where did my teammate qualify? P18. So this is the first time this season that we've actually beaten our teammate in a qualifying session, which is really, really good news indeed. But what can we do in this Chinese Grand Prix? Let's find out as we head over to the race. It's race day here at the Chinese Grand Prix, qualifying as high as 11th place for today's race, as we have to try and finish 9th in today's race, try and get 2 points on board. I think we can hopefully beat that. We've been really quick in the qualifying session, and we tend to do better in the races. We do get a free choice of strategy, and we're going to do what we always do: start at the primes, go for the options at the end, and really pump in those laps. Looking at the race strategy, yep, starting on the primes, pitting for the options on lap 7. That sounds good to me. Teammate challenge. Right, so we've now outraced Rubens Barrichello 2-0. out-qualified. He's beating us on that 1-2-1 at the moment, but we are starting to pull it back. And the fastest laps is 2-0 as well, and championship points is 18-0. So really, really good season so far for myself against my experienced teammate. Anything else really to talk about? Not really. 0% chance of rain. So without any further ado, let's head down to the track and get today's race underway. Sebastian Vettel then lines up at the front of the grid in pole position with Jenson Button alongside him in second. There's myself in P11, just outside the top 10 as Rubens Barrichello qualified in P18, so beating my teammate for the first time this season. Lovely jubbly indeed. The lights start to come on. It's 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go for this Chinese Grand Prix straight away. Putting it up into Richmond. It's going to use our curves now. We tend to do a lot better on the starts as the other drivers. But this is a very, very tricky turn one. There's little room for error into this corner as I go straight into the back of Fernando Alonso. I've already lost positions because I've been on the outside. But I'm going to go around the outside now of Alonso. Then get the inside line on a few drivers, including Schumacher. Maybe, yes, I do. Up behind Vitaly Petrov. And we're back into 10th place. Now we're going to go side by side with Kobayashi. Is that round the outside? No, it's Perez around the outside now. Petrov. We can't do that as he sort of moves off in front of us. So unfortunately can't go around the outside of Petrov. We'll drive up my inside, trying to avoid contact with him. He dived it very, very late for me to sort of react to it. So I'm still side by side with Sergio Perez as I've run it very, very wide into this fast left-hander. That's going to allow the Force India to rest out of nowhere to come back through for P9. As I now go around the outside. No, can we hold on to this position? Yes, we can. Just about. And there we go, holding off Michael Schumacher for the time being, who was unfortunately for him dropped down 2 positions for the start of this. No, he's just dropped down 1. He started in P10, but I have managed to gain. I've gone up from P11 up into P10. So far, a really good start. But unfortunately, De Resta, I could have had P9, but unfortunately, De Resta got that position back from me. Am I going to make this corner? Yes, just about. Right, let's try now and catch up to Paul De Resta, as I'm now maybe going to come under pressure from Michael Schumacher. I am. He's going to go up the inside. Can I make the hairpin, though? I can. And is he going to dive up the inside? Not quite. Can't quite get his car alongside me. But he tried it. Fernando Alonso now battling with him behind us, as we're going to try and follow this pack to the moment of De Resta and the 2 Lotus cars. Hopefully, they can battle with each other and give us maybe the chance to go for the overtake. They are battling with each other at the moment. They go side by side down towards turn 1. I feel like we're quite quick through this corner, if I can get it right. If you can get this corner right, then you're going to be perfect. You're going to be set up for the rest of the lap. But look how much we closed in on Paul De Resta right through there. Right, I should have DRS on Paul De Resta. Unfortunately, though, he is probably going to get it on the rest of the drivers ahead of him. I have got DRS, but it's not going to be enough. It will be good for Fernando Alonso, though, as he's probably going to go for the overtake. Is he? No, not quite. Not quite close enough, but he dives up the inside now into the hairpin. Is he up the inside of me? I don't know. No, he didn't go for it in the end. Okay, these arrows are really annoying. It looks like he's alongside you when he actually isn't. So, unfortunately, I feel like I could end up taking somebody out at some stage in the race, because I assume that they're not side by side when they actually are. So I need to sort that out over the space of this career mode. Got a few drivers coming into the pits then on lap 4 to lap 5 of this race. We're right behind Paul De Resta following in the slipstream. Could we possibly go for the move up the inside in towards turn 1? We're going to try it up the inside of Paul De Resta side by side in towards turn 1 and turn 2. Still holding on up the inside. We're going to have the outside line into turn 3 though. Can we hold on to this? Nice and easy. Paul De Resta, there we go, job done. Passing Paul De Resta as we pass a few guys into the pit lane as well. And we are up into P6 for the time being of this race. Paul De Resta closing in with the help of Slipstream and DRS. He goes for the move on the left-hand side. Going to try under braking in towards the hairpin. We got the job done. Nice and tidy. And there we go, holding on. No, he's gone for the switchback move. Will he make it stick? No, he won't. Luckily, just managed to hold on there against Paul De Resta. And is he coming into pit lane? Yes, he is. Along with a few other drivers. I get past Vitaly Petrov, get past all these guys, and there we go, up into the lead of the race for the time being. We won't hold on to it because, of course, we do have to come into pits for a set of option tyres towards the end of the race, but we need to push on now, put in some qualification laps, and try and get back out in a really, really solid position. Okay, then, here we go, coming into the pits on this lap. Whereabouts is this going to put us out on track when we make our pit stop? As we come into the pit lane, we need to make sure we get this right. And there we go, tucking it in nice and tidy. And into the pits we go. It's going to be, you know, a slower lap than usual because we are coming to pits, but only 5 seconds slower, so that's not too bad time lost on the pit entry. Now, what about the pit stop? We need a quick pit stop from the Williams team. What's it going to be? Go a 4.8 second stop. At the moment, we are in 7th. A lot of drivers going down the pit lane. Looks like we could come out in 9th place, which is where we need to be. And there we go, out in P9. This is exactly where the team want us to be. So that's an absolute fantastic result so far in this race. Not too sure what has happened to Paul di Resta in this race. Whereabouts he came out in the pit stop phase, we will just have to wait and see. But, you know, holding on to P9, good news indeed. Here we go then, starting the final lap of this race. And if we can keep it as clean as we have done so far this race, I won't mind at all. It's been a bit quiet though this race today. It's been a quieter race than we have usually had, but I don't mind that. As long as we can hold on to P9, then I really won't mind that. We have got Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher closing in on us, but I don't think there's going to be enough to go for the overtake by the end of the lap. I think we're just going to have enough in the tank to hold on at the end of the day. Sebastian Vettel wins today's Chinese Grand Prix. That's a great result, seeing as he has been struggling in recent races. We are closing up. I think that is to a back marker, a Virgin Marussia at the moment. So I thought I was actually closing up to Nick Heidfeld as actually one of the Virgin Marussias. But we're going to come through the final corner now to meet the team's objectives all weekend. And there we go, taking a fantastic 9th position here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. What an excellent result that is for us here today. 9th place, another 2 points on board. That's going to put us for 20 in the season, and hopefully that can help us hold on to this 6th place. But there we go, 9th place, 2 points on board, and it was, of course, Sebastian Vettel who won today's race. Jenson Button holds on to P2 with Mark Webber finishing 3rd in today's race and making it onto the podium as well. Felipe Massa finishes in 4th with Lewis Hamilton 5th. There's Nico Rosberg 6th, Vitaly Petrov in 7th, Nick Heidfeld in 8th, with myself in 9th, and Fernando Alonso getting the final championship point in 10th. There's Michael Schumacher just missing out on P11, and Paul di Resta, despite being in the top 10 for most of the first half of the race, in the end only finishing 13th place, so not a good race at the end of the day for the Force India driver, with Rubens Barrichello gaining 1 position on his starting spot, and Alguersuari not finishing in today's race. So not too sure what happened to the Toro Rosso driver, but he did not finish. So that is it for today's Chinese Grand Prix. Let's have a look at the drivers' standings. And unfortunately, because of the other drivers' results, like Sebastian Vettel getting a win today and Nico Rosberg getting a good result, that demotes us down into 8th place, which at the moment is in the middle of a Toro Rosso seat. But we're still not safe for that one as well. Although Vitaly Petrov, he is 11 points behind us, but he is a regular points scorer, whereas we may have some races where we fail to score points. So we're going to have to be aware of that one. But at the moment, Toro Rosso seat is not too bad. We're only 3 races into the season, and we've not even got to the races where I do have a really good chance of getting some great points, like Monaco, Canada, Valencia, and there's tons more that I can't think of right now. Some races that I think we won last season. I think we won maybe the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix last time in the F1 2011 season. So we just have to see if we can replicate that in the Rags to Riches, the sequel. But looking at the constructors' standings, although it doesn't really matter too much, Mercedes, I believe, have jumped us as they are now on 22 points. So we have been dropped down into 5th. We would like to try and battle for that 4th position, but I don't think it's going to be possible. With both Michael Schumacher and Nico Rosberg getting points across the season, they're probably going to beat us, whereas it's mainly at the moment just me. We're holding on ahead of Lotus Renault, though, only 6 points ahead of those guys. So if we can hold on to P5, that would again be a really great result for the team. But that's it for today's Chinese Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. A great race then here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. A 9th position, another points finish, making it 3 points finishes out of 3 races at the moment. Can we continue that streak next time around? We're just going to have to wait and see. But let's have a look at the standings once again before we end today's episode. Currently holding on to 8th position, 20 points on board at the moment. And that at the moment will mean that we will get a Toro Rosso seat for F1 2012. But we would like to build on that, maybe get a Williams seat and possibly even challenge for a Force India seat as well. But we're just going to have to wait and see how this season pans out. Mark Webber currently leads the way in the championship, beating Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton at this stage of the season. But we've still got a long way left to go. There's 19 races in the season. We're only at 3 out of 3. We've got Turkey up next for round 4. So hopefully we can get a decent result there. I like the Turkish Grand Prix. I like the layout of the circuit. And I reckon it can be a really decent track for us. But that's it for today's race. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula One content. Share this video with your friends, and I will see you next time at the Turkish Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.